Welcome to 2 Minute Tech. This is the segment where we look at various features across different motorcycle clothing and accessories that are non-brand specific with a view to helping you make an informed decision when you go out to buy it. This week we're looking at buffs. The humble buff. So you probably come across them in every single motorcycle clothing store, as well as running stores, cycling stores. They're used for a number of different activities. They started long ago with just the original buff, which was a simple two-way stretch. So as you'll see, we'll stretch this way, but not this way. Two-way stretch fabric, but they've come a long way. And the focus of this video is just to give you a little bit of guidance when it comes to purchasing one. It's a simple thing, but it's worth noting. So you've got the original buff, which is designed for basically across the board. So if you're only going to have one, this one will cover you for the winter. For the summer, it's just an extra layer. It will moisture wick. It won't keep you particularly warm, but it's just an extra layer there as well. And this is what most people end up purchasing, and has been on the market since the very beginning. They normally retail around 16 to 20 quid, depending on the colorway. Now, if you go up a step from there, when things get a little bit cooler, you can look at the merino buff. Now, this is more towards the cool end of the spectrum in terms of temperature. It has, obviously, it's made out of merino wool, so it's slightly more expensive. It's also a nicer feel against your skin as well. Taking a step further, as it gets colder, you can look at something like the polar buff. The polar buff at the top half has your standard original buff fabric with the two-way stretch, but in addition to that, has a very, very thick, almost thinsulate. I wouldn't say it is thinsulate, it's non-branded, but a thinsulate-like fabric at the bottom. It is about twice the length of your standard buff. So the good thing about it is not only will it give you very, very warm, cozy kind of protection against the elements around your neck, but then the original buff segment there will fit tightly and nicely around your face under your helmet. This is one of my favorites. It's newish to the lineup. I say newish, in the last couple of years they've added it. And this is Thermonet. It is, again, slightly more expensive than the others, or similar in price to the Polar. The magic of this one is it's woven with Primaloft. So if you don't know, Primaloft is one of the kind of most warmest fabrics that are man-made, and they've woven that directly into it. The benefit of that is you don't get the thick bulk like you did with the Polar, because some people don't like that big bunched up fabric around the neck. So you don't get that, but you get similar levels of warmth for a thinner fabric. So it also has four-way stretch as opposed to two-way stretch like the others. So it will stretch in that direction as well as that direction, which makes it easier to get on and off, etc. And Buff themselves claim that it's 4 times warmer than your standard Buff. And for those that are environmentally conscious, it's made from 70% recycled materials. Worth noting. So that's the Thermonet. It's actually one of my favorite. Another thing to just mention while we're on the Thermonet is I found personally that it comes in a little bit snugger and a tighter of a fabric. I think the weave itself is tighter, so it does feel a little bit tighter when you put it on. Added bonus is that it holds very well around your face. So when you've got it on under your helmet, when you put your helmet on, it's less likely to move around, etc. Finally, we have the Dryflex Plus neck warmer. This has now been replaced with the Dryflex Pro. This particular one is perfect for winter conditions. It's very warm, and the bonus of it is the moisture wicking properties. It's designed to regulate obviously not just temperature, but the moisture as well. And they have a contoured shape that will fit nicely around your face. I think the best way to illustrate it is by showing that. As well as a section with some ventilation so that you can breathe easy, because it does sit right above your nose. So that's the Dryflex Plus. There are a few other new additions to the range as well, but these are the core ones to look out for when you're going to buy. And finally, if you do have a pet, there's the doggy buff. But anyway, as always, thanks for watching. This is 2 Minute Tech, and we'll see you next week.